welcome back to the podcast, No Offers. And today I am here with a special guest, Evelyn.
Hello, guys.
Evelyn, want to go ahead and introduce yourself a bit?
Yes. So my name is Evelyn. Happy New Year. We're already in 2023.
That's
so
crazy.
Another fucking year, dude.
Uh-huh.
A little bit about myself. I am...
Me?
Duh.
Duh.
A little bit about myself. I'm very outgoing. I'm outspoken.
Very.
I like to joke around.
A lot.
Sometimes I get carried away
Too
with
much.
how I joke around, but Maria surely knows. But yeah, it's just if I feel that we vibe, and we have very good connection and good friendship.
Right.
Most of all, this is how I met Maria.
Yeah.
Good vibes, good connection. You talk to me, I talk to you, and if people keep going with the conversation, like I can feel like, oh, all right, you're chill, you know? But if you just say like yes, no, like
you're like,
okay, yeah, I'm just like,
you know?
yeah, I kind of stay like, oh, like, what do I say next? It's kind of awkward. Yeah, it becomes very awkward.
That awkward tension, I get that a lot.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we're gonna get to know a bit more about Evelyn today. I do have a couple questions for you. You know, I know you started, especially this past year, got into exercise a lot, especially running. Something I could not do and haven't done since middle school.
A mile run for
me. So, want to tell us how you got into that? Something that could inspire others to start, because I know it could be hard to keep up with that. You know, be consistent.
Yeah. So I actually started when the pandemic started. So which was then like what, 2020?
Yeah, around. Yeah.
So I was really tired of just being in here. Like all we literally did was like wake up, eat breakfast, and then like watch movies. Like we watched this movie, what is it called? Tremors, I think. It's like underground, like kind of animals or whatever. So like if you made noise, like they would come at you or something like that.
I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah. So apparently there's like 7 movies to them. I think like around there 6 or 7, and so every day we would watch like that movie. Like we'd be like, oh, there's another movie of it, you know. And there was apparently. So we'd watch that, and then after that, like when we noticed, like it was already like 6 p.m. and then we would munch again, like on something like fruta or whatever, and then like we would just be there. We'll like be inside the room, and then again like in the night eat. So then after that I was just like, oh, like what do I do? You know, I was just tired of being inside, and my brothers were still actually going to the gym. Like they were still going to the gym and all that, and I was just home like with my mom and stuff. And then like I don't know, out of nowhere it just came out like maybe I should try running, but I was really embarrassed. Like obviously I was like bigger than I am right now, so like for me it was like I felt like everybody was gonna like see me, you know, like running and like, you know, all moving and stuff like that. So I was just like, no, like I don't want to go, you know. And then one day I was just like, you know what, like fuck it, you know, I'll just take my earphones, and with my earphones, like you know, cars honk and all that stuff. So I was just like, like I didn't want to like hear that or whatever, because I felt that was gonna bring me down and I wasn't gonna do it anymore. So like I would go with my headphones on, and I just started with I think I started with like 2 miles, just like doing 2 miles. That's so good. Yeah. And I would take like an hour doing like the mile and stuff. And I was feeling like bad, you know. I felt good at the same time, but I wanted to be like at that level, like that my brother is, because he runs every day, every morning, and he does like 13 miles, you know. And it's just like and like in an hour or less, you know, 45 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, like I'm doing like 2 miles in like an hour, you know, like what's with me and stuff. So I felt like, you know, bad. Like I was progressing, but I felt, you know, that I wasn't doing enough. So then like I just kept going, I just kept running, and then I felt like it helped me like just get out of this like pandemic mode, you know,
like it would make you forget about everything else.
Yeah, like, you know, this whole thing that's going on. And then the good thing was that I started during that time, which there was not a lot of people going out.
That's
you know,
true.
so there was not a lot of people going out, so I wouldn't really see cars. You know, I wouldn't see, like, I would go around 5 p.m. and I wouldn't see traffic, you know, because it's like crazy traffic when like 5 p.m. Especially like on the busy streets.
Yeah.
So it was during that time, so I actually didn't see cars, and I was like, oh, like, you know, it's good, you know. So yeah, like I just started then, and then after that, like, I felt good about it, you know. I would come home and like do a little workouts here and there. And then Daniela introduced me to Zumba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They tried getting me into it, but I never went.
I know. Although she likes dancing, so
yeah.
I know it's with you, Maria.
I don't know.
So then I was those people that were like, oh, like Zumba, like for old people, you know,
oh,
like
yeah.
for ladies, for las señoras,
like,
you know, like I wasn't dissing them, but you know, I was like, like no, like,
no hate towards them.
Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, like, let's go, like, it's good and stuff like that. It's cheap, most of all. So I was like, I do cheap. You know? Yeah.
You like cheap.
And then I was like, all right, I'll go, you know. And then, yeah, I started going with her. And don't get me wrong, like, the first times were hard because, like, I like to dance, but I felt, like, very uncomfortable, like, just there, like, one, because they already know the dances and stuff like that. And everything. The steps. So I felt like awkward, you know, like obviously they know I'm new because you know they've never seen me and the way I'm moving, like, you know. So that kind of like just like like it also brought me down a lot. But like Daniela always kept pushing me, you know. She's like, no, like you can do it. Like it takes time, you know. She's like, that's how I also started off, and I was like, all right, you know. So she was like also a big part in the way that I started like actually getting more into like exercising and being consistent most of all, you know. I never actually really got into like dieting or whatever because
food is just good.
Food is life, and my mom cooks the best, so you know I could never say no to her bomb ass dishes. Right. But I did, you know, like cut off a lot of like junk food and stuff like that. So I think that's that helps a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like eating smaller portions of those, right?
Definitely, yeah. Like si antes me comía yo 10 tacos, pues ahora ya no.
Ahora nada más 9.
I know. Ahora más, like I take out a little bit of meat, you know. Right? No, but yeah, and yeah, like now that's what I do, like especially it helped me a lot with school, like running, like it just zones me out, you know. I feel like I forget about everything and like myself and stuff like that, and like I come home and it's just like I release like tension, you know. Sometimes you feel like you're okay, but when you do something that tires you out, like it just releases something and you feel good, like even the next morning or stuff like that.
When you keep something in you, it's like everything and everyone makes you mad for no reason. Yeah. And you just don't want to, you want to be alone, right? And want to keep to yourself a lot, even though that's not good. Yeah. Because no estás sacando todo lo que necesitas sacar, right? Yeah. So that's and from that part, like maybe I don't really like opening up about my stuff, you know, but I found that way to be helpful for me, you know, through running, through going to Zumba with Daniela, and most of all, like I also got the chance to really like see her because you know me and her are always together. Yeah. So like it just helped us like continue to be together and like pushing each other most of all, you know. So yeah, obviously it was still COVID time and we were taking care of ourselves, you know, wearing our masks, keeping distance and stuff like that. But running, no, I could never wear a mask running because I was I would suffocate. You know, like no. In the very beginning, even like just walking.
It was so hard. Yeah, it was very difficult. Like I don't know. I felt honestly, dude, like when they said like, oh, you have to be wearing masks to go anywhere, you know. Like I felt very awkward. I felt like a clown kind of thing, you know. Like I felt like dude, you have something on your face kind of thing. Yeah. So I remember the first times, like, we would go to the store and stuff. My mom would be like, oh, vas conmigo a la tienda? And I'm like, tienen que llevar mascarillas. Like, sí. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know? But, like, now it's just, normal, like
that. But also now I feel awkward not taking it off.
Yeah.
Because like now I'll see people like you could have it. It's like an option now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see people without it, and I'm just like I want to take it off, but I feel awkward.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
after that, like you said, it just became like normal and stuff like that. And actually, like I felt like safer wearing it. Like in the beginning, I was just like, oh no, like I feel weird, like stuff like that. But then after, it's just like, no, yeah, it's good. But yeah,
consistency, like trying to keep up with that is so hard because I tried so many times to start working out, right? Even at home workouts. I would do it for like 1 or 2 days, but after that, I was like, I couldn't. And I would stop completely. So by the time I tried again, it was even harder to keep
up. Yeah. I think last time I saw like in a post, and it's like, it takes like about, I think like 30 days or something like that for you to actually get into the habit of doing it every single day, and I was actually doing it every single day. I was also doing hiking. I love going hiking. It was like, it's just like I feel like you're in a different world, it's all nature. I love being in nature, and stuff like that. So of course, you end up tired and stuff.
Yes.
But
it's like
at the end, it's worth it. You get to the top and you see everything, and it's just so nice. And you forget. I feel like for me personally, like I forget that I was just like dying, trying to go up that hill. During that hill, I was like, fuck this, But up there, I was like, damn, like this is nice, like worth it and stuff like that. So I felt like from that side, hiking, that's what I was like looking forward to, I was gonna struggle to get up to see that good view, but once I was up there, like it felt like amazing,
freedom.
I felt like freedom, and stuff. But it's hard to be consistent, I did do sometimes like run in the mornings, especially during the summer, because during the summer, like it's like 5 p.m. and it'd be like 80 90 degrees, so it's like hard to actually be consistent during that time, you know. Because I love sleeping, so like it was hard for me to sacrifice my sleep, to get up and run, to like not catch the heat or whatever, but I mean, sometimes you just have to push yourself, you know, like, and it's hard, like, you said you tried it, and it's hard to push yourself, but I feel sometimes like there's things in life, circumstances that make you actually, like push yourself. Like you want to get out, maybe you're in like this dark place and you just don't want to talk about it, or don't feel like you can talk about it with someone, so you use that, use it, like they say, like el gym es like therapy or whatever, and like for some people it does become like therapy, especially like depending on what you go through, like it's better to go through that route than like drugs or alcohol, like obviously, it's no es ninguna, ¿verdad? But but health wise, like, and it's very beneficial,
especially for the long run,
long run.
Because the older you get, the harder it is to start, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. So like now I feel like, okay, maybe I broke off my habit for a bit, but I can easily get back into it because I already did it, like my body, it's maybe it could just take like a week, at least, to get actually back into the rhythm. But once you're back there, your body also is like, oh, I missed this, so you're back at it again, and it feels good, like
it's like creating muscle memory with your body.
Right? Yeah, definitely. So if you're like trying to like work out, I mean, I'm no expert, honestly, I'm no expert, but it's just something that you can do it,
it's possible.
It's possible, and maybe one day we'll see Maria, coming back here and talking to us about her exercising,
my gym fit and everything. No, but and then how you mentioned it releases stress and everything, and you mentioned school. So there was a time 4 years ago
4 years ago
4 years ago where she was about to drop out of college.
First semester to be exact.
First semester, first year,
freshman year. It was very hard for me school wise. The reason for it was that I never felt like I really had like a talent out of like, you know, musical, like I don't know, like painting, sports-wise, you know.
Same here.
So I felt like, one, it was like an obligation, and especially like my parents are very I wouldn't say traditional, but growing up, that's all I heard, you know, like you have to go to school,
finish, you know, be the first one to finish college,
especially like as the oldest. That's another fact for me.
It's a big pressure right there.
Yeah, I'm the oldest from my 3 younger brothers, so my dad and my mom always told me, like, you know, like they're watching you, you know, they're looking up to you, like whatever you do, like they're watching you, and if you do something wrong, like they're gonna do something wrong because they see it, you know. And so if you do something good, then they're gonna follow the same way. So it was always that, like that was always in my head. And so like I felt that I had to go to school, you know, like because I felt like, okay, I don't have no other talent, so you know I gotta go. And just even during high school, like applying, the process was exhausting as well, you know, like even writing.
We're thankful to have gotten the help.
Yeah, Miss Gomez.
Imagine if we had not gotten the help to apply.
Yeah, that would have been so even more difficult than it was already.
Yes.
But even starting from there, and then once I think my issue was that I got like 6 classes my first.
Oh my god, semester. Yes, she did.
Yeah, I had 6 classes. And that was because I don't know, I went to my freaking what is that one thing called? The orientation. Orientation. So I went to orientation. They're like, oh, like the more classes you do, like the better, like you can do it, you know.
That is true, but we learned that taking 6 classes in college is not the same as taking 6 classes in high school. It's so different.
So different.
Much harder too.
Yeah, and a lot more work, like more intense and stuff. So I was like, okay, you know, I could do it. You know, like I did it in high school, like you obviously said, you know. So I was like, I could do this. So I did 6 classes, and my other thing was that I got an 8 a.m. My schedule was so bad. Oh my god. Just even think about it, it brings me terror. I had an 8 a.m. class, and I got out, my last class was till like 5, I think.
I remember those days.
So it was like very hard. Like I was full-time, obviously full-time student, but like I had the whole day, and then between that, okay, I would understand if it was like back-to-back classes, you know, 8 through 5 p.m. But no, I had like a 2 or 3 hour gap in between. So that just killed me. Like I didn't want to be in school and having that much time in my hands. Like I didn't know what to do, you know. So then like it just like drives me crazy, you know. Like I was,
and like keep in mind, like everyone's doing their own things. So for them, like most of my years, I was by myself.
Yeah.
And when I had those long gaps, I was by myself too. I would just go sit down, go eat by myself.
Yeah. That was also the thing, you know, that I was very like, I was so used to being not around a lot of people, but around at least someone, you know. Like I was always with Daniela or with other friends and stuff. And so, you know, I never felt like that sense of being alone. You know? And then like now that you go to college, you know, even having Daniela, you know, like other people that we known there, it was just like they weren't there, you know, because everybody is like already going through their own path, you know. So, you know, like you had your own schedule, I had my own schedule, and if we got like the opportunity to actually see each other, it was like, oh, you know, rewarding and like very nice to see us, to see each other. But yeah, like during that time in the beginning, you know, they don't really give you like homework and stuff, but I was traumatized with like the syllabus, you know. Syllabus, like it's so crazy when you get there, like they just read on the syllabus like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and it's just like, I don't know, I felt like so overwhelmed, like I was doubting myself if I was gonna be able to do it.
I get you.
And then I did not know about Rate My Professor, so for any of y'all that are starting college, use Rate My Professor. I
think I found out to like my second, almost third year.
So obviously I had bad schedules, bad professors, so my statistics professor.
Oh.
My Lord Jesus. I don't even know if I should burn him out right now, but I remember that we used to call him, like, the group that I would hang out with in that class, we used to call him Little Stuart.
Little Stuart? Oh my god.
I mean, Stuart Little. There we go.
Little
Little Stuart.
Little Stuart.
Stuart Little.
Yeah.
And his accent was the worst. Like, we could not understand a thing he said, you know. So me being bad at math, you know, having a bad professor and having an accent, it was just like, oh my god, you know, like, I felt so overwhelmed. And I honestly can't remember what classes I took, but I think they were like hardcore classes, especially the math one.
Oh,
you must know.
Yes, we took math the first year. We just had different professors, and we would still meet up to help each other because sometimes we would teach about the same thing around the same time. But oh my god, we just wanted to get that out of the way because we've always hated math.
Math is not my strongest. Definitely not. But yeah, Maria, that one time that we got together to do the study guide.
Girl! Oh my god.
So we got this one time. It was actually the final.
Wait, bring my trauma to this.
Girl, you opened my trauma.
Okay, continue.
So we were getting together to do the last portion of the
final.
The final, literally the final. So we got together like, hey, like, let's hang out in school and stuff like that to work on the final and stuff. So we went, you know, we were on campus. And it was during the summer.
Yeah, it was very hot that day.
It was very hot. So we were there, I think, till like what, like 10?
No. Wait, maybe.
Yeah, it was late. Like
so.
Maybe like 9.
Wait, because what time did we meet up? Like at
Not
1?
early.
3?
Probably like at 3.
3-ish.
And then we had to do the whole study guide.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It was pretty long. But it was already dark. That's what I remember. When we left, it was already dark. Yeah. And Maria here, she has good blood, if y'all didn't know.
Oh my god.
She got bit by all the mosquitoes that were there.
Oh my god. That day, it was cute. The thing is, I didn't even feel them until I got home. Because I wore black leggings that day and short
Never
sleeve.
Leggings.
And a short sleeve. I did not feel a single bite or nothing, right? It wasn't until after that I went home to shower. I was like, why is my arm itchy? And then I see and I was like, oh hell no, I got bit by mosquitoes. The next day, bruh, I was I checked my legs, full of mosquito bites. My arms full of mosquito bites. I suffered for a good week and a half to 2 because of the whole itchiness. They're like red spots too. I
remember, I think that night or the next morning, like, you sent me a video of like how your arms and legs were. I was like, no way. And you asked me, you're like, did you get bit or anything? I was like,
she
no,
didn't
at all. Like, I'm good.
And we were sitting next to each other. I was like, how did you not get bit? But I did.
But I did have a good encounter with the squirrel.
Oh yeah, there's a skinny squirrel. She was eating the chips, and he did.
Yeah,
so something, you know, to eat.
It was too skinny, guys, so I had to. Hey, didn't that same day, like, you laid down when we were going down to get picked up? It was by like the, what is it, the health center, I think, or whatever.
Oh yeah, that we were gonna sleep there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can find that too, I'll insert it.
Girl, I could find that one.
You can see them right here. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, going back to, you know, my trauma with dropping out. Yeah, so I was almost gonna drop out. I remember I would catch the bus with Angel, one of my good friends, Angel. And I would catch the bus like at 6:45, I think that's the time the bus would pass. And then like, I think like 3 stops more ahead, like, he got on the bus, you know.
Okay.
So once he would get on the bus, like, I would save him his spot, and like, I would just be like, dude, like, wake me up when we get there, you know, because I didn't want to like be there, but at the same time, the more I slept, I felt the more I like kind of numbed that whole feeling of like being scared of going to campus. So yeah, like I would knock out in the bus, like I would knock out, and then yeah, when we would get there, he'd be like, hey, like we're here and stuff like that. And it was still so early. I think we would get there like on a good day, on a fast day that the fucking bus driver would go. Like we would get there like 7:25.
Okay.
And my class was at 8.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it was just like so dragging. Like I just at the same time I wanted to get the day over with, but at the same time like I didn't. You know, at the same time I wanted to stay those you know, half hour or whatever, like there, not going to class and stuff like that. And yeah, we would get there, find a table, and again I would knock out, you know, be like, wake me up, you know, 10 minutes before we would go or whatever. And then sometimes he wouldn't even go to class, you know, he'd be like,
I know.
His other friends would show up. Oh my god, I'm like burning out Angel here. Angel, if you see this, I'm so sorry. And then he would be like, like let's go or whatever, and I was like, yeah, like I wanted to, but at the same time, I had math in the morning, I think.
Oh, that's even
so I was just
worse.
like, yeah, you know, 8 a.m. starting with math. Oh, it's the worst.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I think I ended with English. Yeah, I
Even
ended with
boring
my English
classes.
class. Yeah, I started with boring and I ended with boring. You know, and then yeah, like I was just, you know, so scared. And then I would tell him, you know, like, hey, like I want to drop out. You know, like I don't think this is for me. I don't. I was still undeclared.
Oh yeah,
undeclared. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to work with kids, but I didn't know like what exactly. You know, I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be what else did I want to do? Like ultrasound.
Oh wait, what?
Aside from that, I already do that. I'm just kidding. It's the, what is it called? Ultrasound, like the.
Oh yeah,
the
those
ultrasound
the ultrasound people.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what they're called.
You don't know what we're talking about.
But then I would get into so much like thoughts, you know, like negative thoughts most of all. You know, I'm not a negative person, but my brain just
gets there sometimes.
Gets there, yeah. And I would be like, okay, you drop out and you go do that. But what if, like, you know, it's not always gonna be happy moments, you know, like
that's true.
Like, oh yeah, congratulations, you have a boy, you have a girl, or whatever, you know, like sometimes you're gonna be like, oh, like, I see this, or you know, like this and that, and it's just like it's hard, you know, or like, oh, I also want to be what is it called, labor and delivery nurse.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm telling you, I wanted to work somewhere with kids, babies, and like stuff like that. So, pediatrician, I was like, no, that is too much school. I cannot do that. So I want to do that too. And then I'm telling you again, with my brain, I was just like, but what if, like, you know, the baby's born and it's like, oh, like he's not breathing, you know, he's not this, you know, that, or like he's born like this, you know, and like telling the mother or telling like whoever's there present with the mother, like it's hard, you know. And I'm a very like sensitive person to topics like that, you know, especially because I have a lot of love towards like kids and stuff like that. So it's just like it's hard, you know. So I would just get so much in my head, and I would tell Angel, and then also Gustavo. I would tell him, he's like, no, like they always push me, especially like you and Rogelio, you know, like I would tell him, and you guys were like very like motivational towards me. But in that moment, I was just like, you guys don't know what I'm going through, you know? It's just I want to do it and I can't do this, you know. Like I always saw you guys as like smarter than me, you know, like like that you guys were like, yeah, I can do this or stuff like that. But you know, like we never know deep down how we feel, you know, and stuff like that. And sometimes you gotta be stronger for a person that's down, you know. So yeah, so I was just like, I mean, I felt like I would see you guys like going to class or like doing your stuff, and I was just like, yeah, because you guys are smart, you know, like that's how I always thought of you guys, like these high people, you know.
That's crazy, because at least in myself, I don't see myself as a smart person. No,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I always, and I still to this time, you know, I see you as like a very bright person, you know. Like,
well, thank you.
Yeah, you are very bright too. So yeah, it was just like I was already, honestly, I had already called what is that, admissions, or I don't know,
the admission, pretty much the admissions acceptance office. Yeah,
so I had already like talked about like what can I do, like can I just drop out like that, or they're like, oh, well, if you're planning, like I was planning to return, you know, like take a break, a semester off, and then go back. and I think they told me like a leave of absence type of thing.
Okay.
So they told me like you have to get like signatures from all your professors, like saying like that, yeah, they're fine with it or something like that. I was just like, that's crazy, you know, it's my life, you know, like let me just do it. But here at home, I also got support from my parents, you know, like especially my dad. He always told me, you know, que me das que sea fácil, you know, like nothing in this life is easy.
That's
you know,
true.
you have to work for what you want, you know, and if it's not gonna be easy, it's always gonna be like something in the road that's gonna like stop you, but you have to, you know, go over it, you know. He always told me like tienes que romper esa barrera, you know, like tienes que romperla. And I was just like, I'm telling you, like going back to me, like I felt like I wasn't understood, you know, like I would go to school and and you guys would tell me the same thing, you know, you can do it, like don't drop out, you know. I was like, yeah, you just say it, you know. And I felt the same thing with my parents, and like they would just say it, you can do it, you know. But like as after like my first semester, I think my second year, I took 4 classes. After that, like I took 4 classes, and like it was so much better, you know. I actually I think I took the class that I really like. I'm more like into history and stuff like that. Girl. So I took this Pan-African Studies class. I still remember I took a Pan-African Studies class, and I loved that class. Like I felt in that class like chill, you know, like I learned a lot, definitely, but I felt like it was just my safe space, you know, in regards to like school and stuff. But yeah, I took 4 classes, so that helped me out a lot. And then I think like especially just you guys, you know, having that company, you know, like Jackie was also a good friend of mine that would always hit me up, you know, like, hey, are you on break or something like that? And I was actually on break, you know. Luckily I was always on break, so I'll be like, oh yeah, you know. She's like, oh, like oh, where you at, like I'll meet you up and stuff. So yeah, we would meet up, and sometimes like honestly like we wouldn't even talk, but just having her there, you know, or having a company of each other, like I felt safe, you know. I felt like good and stuff. So yeah, I had like very good friends that actually helped me, you know, that pushed me most of all, you know. I felt embarrassed, you know, saying or telling you guys, you know, how what I was feeling and stuff like that. But I think if I would have just kept it in and not like tell anyone, I was actually gonna do it, you know. I would actually just leave it,
because we would have not known what you were about to do.
What I was about to do. So yeah, and then after that, I'm telling you, like I took those just 4 classes, and I felt like, okay, I can do this, you know. And then 5 classes, and I was like, oh right, this is what I can do, you know. And then we got like some classes together.
We were lucky enough to get some classes together, which was a big help, especially with communications.
Communication.
Well, specifically argumentative, right?
Argumentative,
because fun fact, I hate presenting. Do you hate presenting?
Definitely. I mean, I could talk with people, but not in front of a crowd. I think that's very different.
It's very nerve-wracking. So that definitely helped.
Just saying a speech for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes, it's a lot when you're up there, bro, by yourself.
Just dancing there.
And the fact that we couldn't even have like a paper to read out from. Having to remember everything in order is, we were just the nights before the day of, we would be just talking about how scared we were to go present. But yeah, there's some good times in there.
Good times, also there. I mean, it was for like me personally, you know, like now after that, like my first semester and after finding out about Ray, my professor, obviously like my whole experience changed, you know. It was much more smoother. And then having like the luck, you know, to have you guys in some of like the classes, you know, it was good. Which was like general classes, you know, because when it came to like actual our major classes, like obviously we met other people that also were good friends, you know. That it's crazy though, but it kind of sucks that sometimes you just meet that person for like that one semester, you know. And then the thing about me was that like I met a lot of people within my major that were already gonna graduate.
Oh,
you know,
so they were leaving already.
So they were leaving already. You know, they're like, oh, I would talk to them and like become like very good friends and stuff. They're like, oh, I'll be like, oh, like what classes are you taking next? You know, and they'd be like, oh, like I'm already gonna graduate. You know, I just needed this class, and I was just like, oh, you know, like I had to find people again. You know. But luckily, my last 2 years, I did find a good friend of mine that we still keep in touch. Stephanie, she was a very like chill friend and stuff. Like even up till now, we still like talk to each other and stuff. And she became a very close friend of mine within my major. You know, so that was good. You know, at least I was like, I mean, I didn't end up with a lot of like friends within my major, but like some of them that I did, you know, it was just very helpful, you know, even
it really is, because like you said, I didn't meet a lot of people in my, I mean, there's a couple, right, that I actually formed a friendship bond with, especially because it was during the pandemic, so we met a lot mostly through online. Like I have a good friend who I had not seen in person because it was online until the day of graduation. We were like, oh, we should like meet up to take a picture, you know. And yeah, we did that.
That was me. Did you take a picture with me?
Girl, aparte.
But I mean, towards the end.
Yeah, what made you like stay in school after all? Besides like the support you did.
The support, I think it was just actually like taking the second semester of my first year, taking 4 classes. I think that definitely helped me a lot. Because it was just so much for me, you know, the first semester taking 6 classes, you know, like nobody in my family has graduated, you know, first generation basically. And you know, I didn't really have anybody to go to, like or my cousins or stuff like that, or any relative like tell me like, hey, like do this or don't do this or like stuff like that. So I kind of had to make my own path, you know, towards like school and stuff. And being a person that thought that I thought of myself of never liking school, you know, like now I'm like okay with it, you know, like I enjoy being in school. And like now that I'm out, like it's just like damn kind of thing, you know, like damn, like
our whole lives it was all about school.
It was all about school. How many years of school did we actually do?
Damn, like 20 something if you count kindergarten. And like,
well, even before that I did like Head Start or something like that.
Shoot, that's crazy.
Even more. I think that's like
our whole lives pretty much. Our whole lives. Damn, it's crazy.
But yeah, like now I think totally different, you know. Like now
you're happy
I'm happy that I actually like graduated, that I pulled through it, you know. But obviously I couldn't have done it alone, you know. Like I also had my cousins that also supported me, you know. I remember that they would take me out and talk to me and like, you know, tell me like, you can do it, you know. Like I can, like, because my cousins are immigrants, you know, so I think they could you know, the DACA and stuff like that, but it's just like it was so different for them, you know. And she tells me, you know, like you're born here, you know, you have that privilege most of all, you know, to not have to worry about like, oh, actually like kind of asking for permission to go to a university, you know.
The privilege of you guys having FAFSA too.
Exactly. So she told me, you know, like you can do it, like it's not gonna be easy, but I know you can do it and stuff. And so that helped me out a lot. And like now that I'm out, you know, like I view things different, you know. Like if I could have known that I was gonna make it out, you know, graduate and have my degree, like I would have been fine with going through what I did my first semester, you know. But obviously you don't know until you get there, you know. And I felt like I would look at 4 years, and especially my first semester, I was like, dude, I have nothing. I have like weeks barely, you know. Like how the fuck am I gonna get to 4 years, you know? But I think like once you actually start doing like your major classes, like
starts getting interesting.
Yeah, everything changes, you know, like it's just like I wanted to go to school, you know, like learn about different stuff and yeah, basically what my career is now, you know. So yeah, I think it was definitely worth it at the end, you know. Like now, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I graduated, like, oh yeah, you know, like I feel, yeah, like I feel good about it. But you know, I always think back, like
if you would have dropped out, I feel like you would have felt that regret now.
Yeah.
Of not continuing.
Yeah, especially like seeing all my friends, all of you guys like graduate, you know, like it would have been even more on me, you know, personally, that I could have been like, shit, I should have stayed. You know, like,
yeah, like you would have been like, that could have been me right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, or watching it, like obviously I would have been like happy for you, but you know, me personally, it would have been like, what did you do for yourself, you know, kind of thing.
Because it's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then you feel like that sense of like, oh, I've accomplished something in life so far, which makes me want to pursue more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was just like, now, you know, I see things different. I'm like, damn, yeah, like it's the feeling of actually walking on stage, like it's just so. And I mean, thankfully we actually got the opportunity to walk on stage, because
the year before us
2020 didn't get to walk, and 2021 tampoco. Yeah. So, you know, and I had friends, I'm telling you, I had friends that also were like, oh, I worked so hard to get to this moment, and actually not having it, you know. And I don't think they actually had like a ceremony even after that.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
They didn't.
So it's just like I felt like that also brought me down in like a certain point, because like, am I actually gonna walk the stage, you know, or you know, is it like stuff like that?
I think so.
Yeah, it was all worth it, and like thank you to the people that helped me, you know, like Maria, Rogelio, Angel, Gustavo, Jackie, Daniela, you know, a lot of people, and other friends, you know, that maybe I forgot at this moment, you know, and I'm sorry if I did. You're probably looking at this like, damn, you forgot me. But yeah, thank you for, you know, pushing me and actually like, you know, believing in me in a way, you know.
No, and after all that, look at you now, Mrs. Evelyn.
Yeah. So now it's, I felt weird in the beginning, you know, when like they would call me like Miss Evelyn, like I was just like, me, you know, kind of thing. And you know, even like now my cousins tell me like, you know, because I have a drawing on the table that says Miss Evelyn. And then my cousin, on New Year's, he came in, he's all like, oh, he's like, why does it say Miss Evelyn? Like, you have to represent our last name, you know?
Oh, Mendez?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, the staff knows me as Miss Mendez, you know? But, like, the kids, since I started, like, just as a volunteer, like, they knew me just as Evelyn, you know? So, I just stuck with that with, like, the kids, you know, with Miss Evelyn and stuff.
And, if it doesn't make sense, she's pretty much like a teacher, right?
Yeah.
She's a teacher now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy. It's like, who would have thought you would go back to school, even though it's not for you, but it's in a way for you to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, like now I'm gonna spend my entire life being in school. You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, I love what I do. Like I said, I have a passion for working with kids, and I know I wanted to do something that involved working with kids. So yeah. I'm a teacher now, and like, I'm
gonna bring my kids to her one day.
One day.
Not in math though, because
not math.
Maybe history.
Maybe definitely history.
Okay.
Yes, definitely history.
Got it.
But yeah, my major, I forgot to mention my major, child development. Maria, what's your major?
Mine was criminal justice.
Yeah. So see, it's so crazy though, because you know Daniela is business and administration. So like, I always have that thought of like one day having the opportunity of like opening my own like daycare or like a little Head Start kind of school thing, and like I always think, you know, I have the degree to like actually like what do you call it? Start it, you know, like start it. And then I'm like, I have Daniela who can actually run the business and administration portion of the school, you know, because damn, it costs a lot, you know. I remember like one of my classes, a project was to actually like you know, create your own school and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And like, yeah, there's a lot of financial stuff that goes into
Yeah.
like having a school, like stuff like that. And then I'm like, obviously I'm like, be a cop there at my
You
school,
be the
you know?
security
Yeah.
part of the school.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you
Yeah.
could check all the freaking emergency exits
Right.
and like stuff like that, you
Uh-huh.
know. So I felt I always had that. And also Jenny Nava, a good friend of mine, she's doing I believe she's doing, what is it called, engineering.
Oh,
So, you know,
cool.
so
Uh-huh.
I was just like, she can build my school,
She
you
can
know?
build it.
Yeah, like, so we can all
Yeah.
like help each other
In a
and,
way,
like,
yes.
make something, you know, for
Mhm.
the future. Definitely for the future.
Exactly.
Like, you know, just have better generations. You know,
Mhm.
there's newer I see it with kids now. It's just, I want them to have something good. You
Yeah.
know, to create something good.
Mhm.
Like, there's this saying, you know, like, I think like teachers shaping like little kids' minds or something
Yeah,
like that.
I've heard.
I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Something
I
like
don't-
that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we are basically like, obviously parents are the first teachers, you know, but
Mhm.
like education wise, like we're the first teachers, you know, like
Exactly.
especially me working with age groups around like 3-4-year-olds, you know,
Mhm.
like they're barely starting, you know, and it's just, I want to give them a good foundation of having a love towards school. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
That I honestly didn't have growing
Yeah.
up, but I got there.
Eventually.
Dude, going back to school, and then crazy how I actually ended my 2 whole last years with straight A's.
Oh, I know. Mírala. The one who wanted to drop out ends with straight A's.
Yeah, I actually wanted to drop out, and then my 2 last years
Mhm.
I ended with straight A's.
That's good though.
Yeah, and
Because I felt like-
honor.
And honor roll. Because I
Yeah.
felt like that really helped you see that you could do it.
Yeah, definitely. That helped me a lot to view myself differently and education wise, you know, like now I'm scared to go for my master's, but I actually had already attended like a little
Orientation?
like orientation, yeah, to get just information on it, how it is and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like hopefully one day I can go towards it, you know, especially now, like I have like the staff in school and they tell me, you know, right now you don't have kids, you don't have
Exactly.
responsibilities, most of all, you know, major responsibilities and like a family and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And, like, because they tell me it gets hard, you know, it gets even more challenging when you do. So they tell me right now that you're young, you have like the brains for it, you know, you have the time for it, like do it, you know. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, but I miss school, so maybe, yeah, in the near future I probably will.
Yeah, it's very different from work. Like, especially, obviously, you want to do something that you enjoy, right? But sometimes you have to start with something you don't really enjoy doing just to get the experience
Yeah.
to build something out of it, right? For future jobs. And it's really hard because, yeah, you're getting paid, you're getting the experience, but it's totally different from school.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I wish I could stay in school, even though I hated school sometimes. But sometimes I'd rather do that. Like, sometimes I'd rather wake up for school than having to wake up for work.
Or work, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially like you mentioned, you know, I remember in high school, Mr. Contreras.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
had him for, I believe, Avid or something like that. And he always, like, you know, he always had his speeches, like his motivational
yeah.
speeches and stuff like that. And something that stuck from him that he said was that if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life.
Oh, I think I remember
you know?
hearing that from him. Yeah.
So that really stuck with me, you know, and now that I see it, you know, and now I'm living it, you know, like I feel like I wake up, and yeah, it's hard for me to wake up, but once I'm already there, like I love being there, you know. It's like I don't feel like I'm working, like stuff like that. And like you said, sometimes, yeah, you have to, you know, maybe do a part-time job or a full-time job that, and what is it called, and like cashier, or like something like in a restaurant or in a shoe store or whatever, and you don't like the way that, you know, you do your job or whatever, and it's just that maybe motivates you to like go back to school, you know. And it's
true.
never too late, you know. I feel like I remember my class, I had like this I think she was like already like 60-something-year-old,
okay.
doing like her degree and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And she's like, now I have the time, you know. She's like, she said it, you know, my kids are already old.
Yeah.
They're grown up and stuff, and now I feel like I have the time to do it. And
Okay.
most of all, I have the desire, you know, to actually like pursue a degree and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, like if she can do it, you know, like anyone can do it, you know, as long as you. It's the same thing, as long as you
There's always a time for everything.
Yeah, and there's gonna be something that's gonna spark in you that's like, oh shit, you know.
Yes.
But obviously, school is not for everyone.
Yeah, like many people have successful lives even if they didn't go to school.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting, you know, doing it.
Yeah,
committing to it.
There. Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a lot that have their own businesses, you know, and it's just like, shit, I can't do that. You know, like it's hard, but they know how to run their business. But that's what they love doing, you know. So it's good, you know. And maybe it's not a degree or whatever, but shit, they're living good, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, as long as you like do what you love, like, you're basically never gonna work.
Exactly.
You know, because you love it, you know. And if they tell you, shit, do overtime, shit, I'm doing overtime, you know. So for you, like, how was it, like that day of graduation, you know, like that, when that day came, you know, like, how did you feel?
You know, like always, I was hella nervous. I was late, like always. God. I was late to my high school graduation. So now I was late to my college graduation.
She's like, I cannot not be late to my college one.
Yeah. And me, I personally don't really like wearing heels a lot. I mean, they're nice and all, right? But I get tired easily with them. And that day I was like, I have to wear heels to look nice, you know?
Yeah, obviously.
Girl,
special day.
Imagine being late, having to fucking like run, walk run. All trippy in the midway, but it's okay. And see, the thing that I didn't like was we didn't really get to sit next to friends since we were all different majors.
Yeah.
We're in the same ceremony. There's like 8 or 10 different ceremonies.
Yeah.
But we were in the same one, right? But we just had different majors, which meant we sat in different sections.
Yeah, so there was like 2 sides, right? Like the criminal justice side and then the child development side.
And so yeah, I got there, you know, once I got there and sat where I was supposed to be, I was like, okay, feeling much better, you know, much more calm.
But did you like
on time.
Get to sit with anyone that
in
your class or whatever? No.
Random people to me. But yeah, and then the moment we had to walk up, I was like, oh hell no.
Even just now, like
I was like all shaking, my feet were freaking sweating already. Slipping off from the heel.
Like your toes were all the way up.
Dude, I'm fucking like gallina right there, dude. I'm fucking dead. No, but yeah, I was walking and we were getting, when we would step in, well, basically walk right at the stage, there's a big screen so that your whole family can see too, right? I was like, what am I gonna do?
Oh yeah, that part too, yeah.
Dude, I was so nervous. I just literally walked up, looked, said hi, and then fucking left. I was like,
she sprinted that shit.
I was so nervous. Like, even my dad, and well, both my parents, they were like, you better like stay there for a bit so I could take a picture of the screen. I didn't even know. I just walked up there, said hi, like waved, literally just waved. And walked out real quick. Yeah. But I was so nervous. I was literally shaking. Even thinking about it, I'm like shaking right now.
I know, yeah.
It was a cool moment though.
Yeah, definitely. Because
when we were exiting, when it was done, and I saw my parents, I felt that like feeling of wanting to cry a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, you know, I accomplished something that they're proud of too, you know?
That represents them also.
Yes.
Because it's just like where they come from, you know, what they came for most of all, you know.
Exactly.
They came for thinking of their family, of like their kids' future, you know, maybe not even having them, but just knowing that they wanted to have a family in the future, like they wanted to give everything to them. Yeah.
They wanted to give us a better education, better opportunities.
Yeah.
And yeah, being able to do that for them too was very rewarding, yeah. But yeah, after that, you know, we went to go eat.
Where'd you go eat?
I went to the buffet. The one that was called Hometown Buffet before. They changed the name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one by right here, no Montebello or something?
Yeah.
Okay, we went to Golden Corral. There you go.
Oh, that yes, the same right?
Same, yeah,
Yeah, just different name. Yeah.
Different names, yeah. It's
But
also
Yeah, it was great times.
So what sibling went in? Because you have twin brothers, so.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
There was only 4 tickets.
They were.
That was the worst part.
They were only giving 4 tickets per family. In my family, it's 6 of us, right? But obviously, we get our own ticket, so we still have the 4, right?
Yeah.
Which meant I needed 5 tickets, and I only got 4. So that means one of my siblings had to stay home, which was one of the twins. It was like, whatever. I mean, they're little, so they don't really like waiting a lot. And
Yeah,
stuff
they're
like
very
that.
impatient, yeah.
Like they don't care at that age, right? So yeah, one of them stayed. But yeah, we just picked them up to go eat, and
they were cool.
Cool with it.
They were cool with it.
They were cool with
They
it.
didn't even know.
They're like, what happened? I don't know.
Happened?
But yeah,
We just want to go pick up Maria from school.
But yeah, and then thank God it was like not cold that day.
Cold or hot, it was very.
It was
like the
a perfect
temperature.
weather.
Yeah, it was perfect weather. Yeah, definitely.
Because both of us are very cold people,
Cold people,
so like we get cold easily.
Yeah.
We don't mind the hot, but sometimes it does get to a point where like damn, like,
Yeah,
it's kind of too much, you know.
Yeah, especially like with wearing like the what is it called?
Yeah, the gown.
The
and
gown
stuff.
and like the carpa, you know, it was like the carpa, but it was actually really good weather.
Yes.
Like very good.
Thankfully.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, it was day to remember for sure.
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I remember I just wanted to live the moment, you know, like
Yes.
especially for I'm telling like myself that, you know, but fucking drop out, you know, like being in that moment, like it felt so unreal.
No,
you know,
yeah.
It felt so unreal, and then honestly, even then, I was like, until I get my diploma in the mail, that's when I know for sure I did it.
I'm like, the paper. This one.
Yeah. I'm like, I might have walked the stage, but I'm like, until I get the actual diploma that comes in the mail, that's when I know it's official.
Yes. Dude, and then I would be double checking that I wrote my name right, because you know when they send the emails to send in your name, I was like, I better not have put an S instead of a Z right here. But yeah. Oh, we got it like about 2 weeks after, right? Our diplomas. It was another rewarding feel.
Just the paper.
Let me see that burn real quick.
I know I'm gonna bring her.
No, but yeah, and then flexing it on all of our siblings. No, but yeah.
No manches, está en el cajón.
Dude, for real, same. I have it like in the same bag still.
And the envelope that it came in, it's there.
Dude, me saving the envelope for memories.
Yeah. Everything counts. Everything counts.
Yes. Everything's proof.
Everything, yep.
But yeah, it was very nice to experience.
But one thing I did hate was having to like just going back to like the whole college experience, like having to what is it called? Register for classes.
Oh my
having
god,
a time, having a date, and like classes being full. Waitlisted.
Oh no.
Times.
The only ones that were left were like the worst professors. Or
yeah.
early ass classes.
Or Saturday classes.
Or like
night
late
classes.
ass classes.
You had night classes?
I had, yeah.
For
like
I had like
one semester. But... yeah. It was a 6 to 8 p.m. class.
Yeah. But
and
even
then,
they wasn't actually till like.
No, sometimes it would end it before.
Yeah.
But still, like, it was especially during the fall time, which means it would get darker quicker. Yeah. Which was the worst, but had to do what we had to do
to get out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, like what would you eat in school? Remember when we would actually see each other? Bitch, you would make me buy shit. And I was so smart. She never bought shit.
I know. See, for real, I would get lazy. Like obviously, I would bring my food from home sometimes, right? But sometimes I would get lazy, and I would just
meal prepping is hard. Don't lie.
Okay, meal prepping sandwiches.
Nutella sandwich.
For real.
Took forever.
Peanut butter. The peanut butter's too hard.
I know.
No, but yeah, I would literally buy. I wasted a lot of money my first 2 years on food on campus. Whether it was Carl's Jr., because we had a Carl's Jr. right there.
And Pollo Loco.
Pollo Loco. I was not a big fan of Pollo
And
Loco.
I know me either, but that one time I
the
tried
nachos?
chicken
Because the girl brought it to class.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got it because of her. I got it because of Maria.
Yes, one time this one girl brought like a bowl of nachos with like chicken Oreos from Pollo Loco. And I was like, damn, that shit smells so good. We're both saying that because we were hungry as hell.
Yeah.
And
Damn, my stomach's rumbling. Not gonna lie.
We were like, damn, next time we go to Pollo, my mouth is watering. Bro. No, mama.
I know.
No, yeah. We were like, damn, next time we go eat, I'm gonna get that, right? And I got it like once or twice. I was like, okay, yeah, possibly. It was pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when it wasn't that, it was like Carl's Jr. I tried sushi, which I ended up liking.
Yeah, but I didn't like it. Like California rolls, you got them, no? I didn't actually like them.
Those, they were
because
pretty
it was
good.
like just like the frozen ones.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or like Chinese food. Sometimes we would walk into McDonald's.
No, yeah.
Or what was it, Burger King? Yeah.
McDonald's or Burger King, they were like right across the street.
Yeah, and then I was like, every time I would see them, I would be like, hey, let's go buy some food. I would convince her. I wouldn't convince Daniela though. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll always have like snacks though.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I had some snacks, like I would still like. I'm like, if you buy something,
yeah,
I'll buy something.
It was like that, or
so,
like
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when it wasn't like actual like food, I would just go to the bookstore and buy like snacks, you know.
Yeah.
Monsters. I would drink Monster here and there just to keep me awake when I had those long periods.
Long periods are fucking all nighter shit. Pulling all nighter.
Wow.
I don't know if like you did, but I'm pretty sure you did.
There was once like freshman year, I took like a 3-hour class. Those were the worst. I would have fallen asleep like midway.
Damn, yeah, I know.
But yeah, there were those times I could not get that money back, but at least the food was good at the time.
At the time.
So
the stairs.
Dude, I know the stairs. This is why I would reward
leg day
myself
all day, every day.
I would reward myself with a burger for going up the stairs.
Know.
But yeah.
I remember sometimes when I would get early to school, like I would go buy a bagel, you know, like the lo tostaba.
Dude, Starbucks. We had a Starbucks.
Oh. But the line, bro.
Oh, I know. I hated that.
Fucking long.
But sometimes, like, okay, breakfast time, I'll go get myself a sandwich from there. A drink.
Yep.
Especially when you have someone to convince yourself to go.
Ya sabes, ¿cómo se llama? Juice it up?
Juice it up, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was that one.
Where you would get the
acai bowl.
Acai bowl, yeah.
Yes.
Good smoothies there too. Damn, a lot of money wasted there.
Yeah. We were wasting like as if we were rich, bro.
I know.
Like, I don't even know where the money came from.
I know.
But yeah, it was like, damn, can't believe we.
But would you stay inside, like the library, or you sometimes you would like be outside?
I would always be inside in the library, because it was quiet. Just to sit there, especially when it was cold. I would find a warm place.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much hang out, do any work I had to do, like homework, work on any projects, or literally just watch Netflix and eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever like we weren't able to meet up.
Yeah, I remember like I could never sit outside, you know, like in the benches, because I would always just like watch who's like coming up, or like, you know, there was this time where like classes would come out and like there was like people going up and down like the like the walkway or whatever, so just like, oh, like let's see Wi-Fi, you know, and stuff like that. And then sometimes I would find like Gustavo like, hey, what do you think? I'm like, oh my god, you know, yeah, nos podemos al chisme or something.
No, and then for me it was the opposite. I didn't like sitting outside because I'm a very introvert person. So I didn't want to see people. So I would just go freaking hide where there was less people.
Yeah.
The only times I would sit outside was when I was with someone, right? Whether it was you, Daniela, or someone else, right? Those were pretty much the only times. Because you see what happens when I sit outside and the mosquitoes come?
Yes, I know what happens.
But yeah, pretty much. I don't want Carl's Jr. now.
I kind of want the chicken nachos.
Pollo Loco.
Did you have like a rough patch during like your years of, you know, being
college?
in school? Yeah, college.
For me, I feel like it was very different because I never got that feeling of wanting to drop out. I would say it a lot as a joke, but I never really meant it, right? Like, I didn't never really thought about it as actually dropping out. I feel like that's when I think it was first year or second year. If it was first year, second semester, I think, that I started working. I had a part-time job. That's when my first job. So that was the only hard part, because sometimes I would go to school and still go to work after.
Oh, fuck.
So I would like hurry up, and I would go on the bus too. I would have to hurry up to get to home on time, and then change into my work clothes and head to work.
And then still like having it in mind, like, oh, I have to do this assignment due today, or like this final is coming up, or project, or
I feel like that was the only like main struggle I had at the very beginning, like managing time with work and school. Other than that, no, not really. It was like minor things, like, oh, I have to do this final, I have to present, type of stuff. So I don't think I really ever had like a tough, rough path along the way. The only thing I did hate was that I didn't really get to make friends throughout the years. Like you said, yeah, we would meet them, but then they would be on, different classes, or they graduated. Yeah, and then pandemic hit. We didn't really make a connection because it was online mainly, so we didn't really get to know each other, type of stuff. Didn't really get to make connections.
Yeah. No, it was hard. Oh yeah, talking about that. How was your experience with like pandemic? Switching to online, literally.
I honestly liked online. Because especially it was during the time where we're gonna take a test that I knew I was gonna for sure fail. So pandemic hit right on time.
Yeah.
Nah, but
what class was it for, Maria?
Oh, some class.
Some class.
Nah, but for real, like it honestly low-key saved me from a lot of presentations.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was the only good thing. The bad thing, not getting to see friends, for a good while.
Or sometimes even good professors. I'm pretty sure you had good professors online.
Yes. Pretty sure we missed a lot of opportunities of getting to meet people and professors within our major that could have helped us for future things.
References.
Yeah.
Mostly because going back to like that what is it called, orientation that I had for like graduate school. They said like you need letters of recommendation from previous professors and stuff like that, and it's like a question that they asked was like, what if you had like mostly professors online, that were good, but and then they said you have to kind of remind them, like, oh, I was this student, or I was that, like, like sometimes it was good because you didn't have to speak up, but like if you wanna like recommendations, it's like kind of hard, like more difficult really to get them because of the pandemic, but like you said, at the same time it came to save mostly a lot of money as well, like within like students that commuted to school, and like
students who wasted a lot of food.
Food, like that like drove to school, they avoided a lot of traffic. I'm pretty sure gas money as well, so that helped save a lot as well. But working from home was also difficult, like especially if you have siblings that are like also doing online,
Oh, I know, because everyone would be online at the same time,
Wi-Fi, stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure there's been some students, or there were students that would actually spend the whole time on campus because they didn't have internet.
Oh yeah, that's
maybe
true.
We never know, and maybe from there they had to actually get internet and stuff like that.
And I know there's a lot of students that would have preferred to stay in school because sometimes they just don't want to go home, whatever they're facing at home, or that sad fact that like maybe they didn't have a home. There's a lot of people, or students that lived in their cars, or just here and there. So and it really affected the younger generation because it was definitely harder for little kids to focus online than they would have at school in person, because online they could easily like just walk away. Like the teacher can't really do nothing. Yeah, tell them, but
yeah,
it's
or
not the
most
same.
of all, like teach them. You know,
Yeah.
like you need to be observing. Like, oh, okay, show me. Like I saw it with my brother in like in
Yes.
school. And I'm like, oh, show me. You know, or like the parent is already like yelling at like the other
the
kid or
background,
something.
background,
Yeah. So it was
Yes.
challenging. Yeah.
Definitely was. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it was pretty scary in the very beginning. Especially once we started seeing the cases rise, it was very scary. Especially seeing videos of how crazy people would go to like get stuff at the markets.
Yeah,
and,
like
toilet paper and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, the toilet paper, the waters. Yeah.
That was the scary part. Other than that, I feel like now, obviously, it's still going on, but we're more aware of it, so we're not as scared as in the very beginning.
Yeah, we're more cautious now and stuff like that. But yeah, in the beginning it was, I was just gonna tell you, like, how do you feel like literally being and making history, basically, you know, like being part of a historical time.
It's crazy because the fact that maybe our future children will get taught about this in school, just like how we got taught about like World War One, II, stuff like that, 9/11. Imagine that. Be like, I lived through that.
Yeah, like I remember.
I survived.
For real, huh? I'm a hero.
Dude, I sacrificed myself to go outside and buy toilet paper.
I know.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I also tell like my mom, you know, like I tell her, especially for us, you know, that somebody due to that like left, you know, it's just like having our kids, you know, and then one day they're actually gonna ask, you know, because like you said, they're gonna for an assignment or whatever, and it's just like, oh damn, like we lived through it, and like this happened and maybe to them it's gonna sound like, wow, like that must be really hard, you know, but like us like going through it, like it was, and there were scary moments, but it's like, you know, we had to get by them, you know?
Had to learn how to adapt to it.
And to them it's probably gonna be like, wow, you know, like of this moment that, especially because they're gonna frame it like that. Well, it was a moment like that, you know, of like you know, a lot of people dying and stuff like that, and like you said, like stores being short on like toilet paper, water, foods and stuff like that. But yeah, we've been part of history.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. So do you plan to have any kids in the future?
Oh my god. Next question.
Well, she's like, I'm already pregnant.
No.
When do you see yourself with a family?
When do I see myself? That's a very hard question. I don't know. Like I said, I have a passion for kids, and like I just, like it. I mean, if it was to present to me right now, like I would be terrified, but I would be very happy to be a mom.
Oh, really? So you could see yourself as a mom right now if it were to happen?
I think so, but I think most of all I would be scared because, you know, it's just, I have a lot to like still learn. Basically learn and live. And like they always told me, you know, learn from the experiences of others, you know, so you don't commit the same mistakes or whatever, you know. But I mean, I don't know what's the right age, you know, because just I think yesterday I was watching like this girl, like I think she was like 34, and she's like 34, 35, she's like, I'm happy to finally have the opportunity to like freeze my eggs or something like that.
Unfreeze or freeze?
No, freeze.
Oh, freeze.
Freeze. Yeah, she's like, cause like I'm single and like you know, like our fertility is like there's a limit to it, you know, there's an age to it, so it's very hard, you know.
That's crazy.
So it's just I don't know, like that's
because you say, damn, I'm getting too old, so I feel like, you know, the same, what if I can't get pregnant no more, or like I'm too young right now, I can't, you know. Exactly,
you know, like right now it's like, no, like I don't want to because I'm young, like I can and stuff like that. But then when I feel I'm ready, like what if I'm at that age where it's just like your body's no longer ready?
You know? That's the scary part.
So it's just, a topic that's very complicated, you know. That's why I say, like, if it was honestly to present, like, you know, years from now, like, I would be, like, happy, but I wouldn't know. Like, right now, I'm just barely starting off my career, you know. And especially as a woman, like, we have, I don't want to say, like, a lot to lose when we have a kid, but it's just, like, you just kind of have to stop in a way, you know? Yeah. And it's just, like,
for a bit,
for a good while. Yeah, exactly. And especially, like, there's so much, like, contradiction within, like, oh, you're not a good mom because you just had a baby and went back to work and stuff like that, or oh, like, see, like, you have a kid now and, like, you're not working anymore, like, you're a stay-at-home mom now or whatever, like, what did you work for anyway, you know? It's just a lot of, like, stuff like that. I'm telling you that I get into my head that it's just, like, what is right and what is wrong, you know? Like, I kind of,
that's very true.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like sometimes I want to be a people pleaser in a way. So yeah, you know, like, it's just hard, like, knowing, I'm telling you, that window, like, that right window, and then anything, like, career-wise, I don't want to, because, like I said, I'm just starting off, you know, like, then I would have to put it on pause if I want to be, like, a good mom or whatever, you know?
That's what scares me, because sometimes your career could take so much of you, where your whole life is revolved around work and not your children. And then your children grow up and you feel like they're not as attached to you, because they didn't grow up with a parent right there with them,
you know, although you're working to give them a better life basically. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's just that, like, there's a lot of contradiction with that. That's challenging. But what about yourself, Maria?
I already have 5 kids. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. That's a good.
Some of them are in my class.
Imagine. No, like you said, I don't know, right? Because I feel like if I would not want to have a kid now, I cannot see myself as a mom right now. I feel like closer to my 30s, I would start seeing myself as a mom. Early 30s. You know, late 20s, early 30s is when I would probably consider.
But what if, you know, life throws you stuff, and what if you're at your peak? You know, I know how. What if you're at the peak of your career, you know, or you want more from your career?
Well, I know that's hard to think about, because, I feel like I would feel happy when I know I'm stable enough and not have to worry. And have the option of I could continue if I want, or and rather than having to continue because I have to. You know. But like you said, sometimes life has something else prepared for you, and if it happens, it happens. You know, but it ain't happening anytime soon. So yeah. That's what I think about. You know. Oh wait, stuff like when you have children, how many do you see yourself with?
Oh damn, that's a good question. Hopefully I get lucky enough to have twins and now call it good stand in there. I don't know, maybe 2.
For me, it would have to be 2 or 4.
Well, I feel like it depends. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think I would do 2. Oh, yeah. I don't know, but 2. Yeah.
But like you said, it also depends on how stable in life we are, because there's so much we could only do. Oh yeah.
So as of now, it's 0. Thinking being stable, maybe 2. You know, 2
being and very well. You know, in the stable part, 4. For
Maria, not for me.
Evelyn,
I know, I'm like right here, like with 6. Just kidding.
Fucking 10 children over here.
Oh my god.
Alright, so Evelyn, thank you for being our special guest on this episode of No Offers Podcast. If you would like to go follow her, I'll link down her socials below.
Thanks for having me, and see you soon again.
Bye guys.
Laters.